You're listening to Spring River Chronicle. Audio on the go.
Progress Made in Cherokee Village Budget Issues by Cindy Harris, read by Jody Shackelford.
Sponsored by First National Banking Company.
After several past meetings where the Financial Task Force of the Cherokee Village City Council examined in detail the budget problems, the July 7th meeting saw several proposed partial solutions being discussed in earnest. Alderman Lynn Maxedon stated to the City Council, "It's time to start talking about my proposal before, which was to see if we can get volunteers for retirement from some of our employees," he stated, reiterating that they need to reduce payroll expenses, and to do so, he continued, "I believe we need to look at reduction in what we pay for salaries in order to make a decent effort towards keeping going as a city, because I'm really afraid that if we don't take action soon, our problems might compound for the start of the next year, so we need to start now." Councilwoman Vera Mae Newman responded by saying, "I think it is ridiculous to ask someone to retire for $500. $50,000 or $60,000? Sure, but you're not going to get someone to retire for $500. Newman suggested that the department heads be asked to cut their budget by 10%, saying some have already cut by as much as 20%, but some haven't done anything at all. Newman also reminded everyone that a city is a business. It can't be run without revenues. We need to go ahead with the millage, need to take it to 5 mil. We need to encourage people to pass the sales tax, which is very minor, and will finally catch up with the other cities. She then went on to suggest that the other sources of revenue could be enacted, such as an A&P tax. She said, "We'd take in probably about $200,000 annually once all this gets implemented and is in place." Newman also suggested some actions at animal control, saying, "I know the animal shelter has been a hot topic lately. Let's set a limit on the number of cats and the number of dogs we can handle. If we're over that limit, we don't have to euthanize. We can adopt out the animals until we get down to our maximum number. Then we don't take in any more animals from any place but Cherokee Village and Ozark Acres, because Ozark Acres is contracted with." She agreed that action needs to be taken now, but that asking people to make drastic cuts is asking too much, going on to say, "We can start with small steps. If we have to, we can ask employees to cut their hours by 1 hour a day, but not cut them in half. Most of them can't survive by doing that. We will survive for 2011. Let's start worrying about 2012. Newman elaborated on the need to raise the millage rate by saying, "We've got to catch up with the times. The reason you're living here is because in Illinois, the taxes on your house are approximately $3,000, and here in Cherokee Village, they're approximately $500 a year. But we are still a city, and to survive, we need revenue." Alderman Russ Stokes then stated that staff has been added in administration and other areas and suggested that the personnel be reduced using a last-in, first-out theory. He feels this would enact a large savings by reducing personnel. He was reminded by Newman, however, that in January of 2011, the council put a freeze on personnel in that they cannot replace anyone who leaves unless it is deemed by the department head that it would be extremely necessary to replace them. As evidence that this policy is already being followed, currently both the police department and the fire departments are down 1 employee each, and those employees will not be replaced. Lynn Maxedon pointed out that since the last Financial Task Force meeting, the department heads have looked at the budget and cut a number of things, some of them all the way down to zero. "We are looking at a bare-bones budget already. They have cut out over $100,000 from the budget we originally passed, but we're still in trouble. In the general fund for $353,516. Newman took this as evidence that cutting expenses were not enough, saying, "There again, we still need to add revenue." Councilman Jerry Adams then brought up the animal control subject, stating, "Before anyone loses his or her job or has their hours cut, we need to look at the animal control situation." Adams continued, "It is a county problem, and why we, Cherokee Village, are taking on animal control when we don't even have a sales tax just makes no sense to me." Police Chief Ricky Crook then reported on donations that have come in from the community for the animal control shelter, stating that, "Just today, from 2 different sources, we have received donations of 6,382 pounds of dog food," referring to the efforts of the Cherokee Village resident Bill Matzelboba in setting up donation points for pet food at several businesses in Hardy, Highland, and Ash Flat, as well as one large donation he secured from a business in Thayer. Carolyn Brown of the Animal Help and Humane Association, Inc., AHHA, a nonprofit organization, reported that they have recently donated $2,500 for food and medicine to the animal control shelter. In summary, several of the council members repeated several times that the city has already been taking steps to cut expenses, but that in order for the city of Cherokee Village to maintain its high quality of life, including the vital services being provided by the police department and the fire department, including EMTs, recent road developments and the maintenance of these roads, especially during the snow season and after windstorms, as well as maintenance of the animal shelter, it will also need to increase revenue. So far, it seems that the most significant ways that the city revenue can be increased would be either that the city council vote for an increase in the property assessment millage rate, or that the citizens of Cherokee Village vote for the 1% sales tax in September.